Now, before I begin with the similarities, I need to first of all explain what forward contracts are and what futures contracts are. Suppose that this is a parcel of land. Individual X owns that parcel of land. Here we have another individual, Y, who is what we can be able to say an intermediary or a broker. Individual X, having owned this parcel of land or owning this parcel of land, decides to plant maize like so. And once they plant the maize, say at the end of day 2, they've actually completed planting maize in that parcel of land, what happens is that Y could approach X and tell them that your parcel of land has got maize that I am interested in. The interest that Y may have towards that parcel of land is that they intend to purchase the maize that is produced on that parcel of land upon maturity. So that represents a future kind of decision there. So we are saying that Y could approach X and come up with a contract. Y would come up, would from Y's perspective, enters into the contract with the intention of buying the maize from X. X, on the other hand, will enter into a contract with the intention of selling the maize to Y. There must be a contract price, contract, futures, price, such that when Y and X enter into an agreement, the price at which X will agreeably sell to Y, and the price that Y will agreeably purchase from X should be harmonized, or there should be some form of harmony. So we are saying the contract futures price would be, supposing this parcel of land produces 10 bags of maize, 10 bags. Now, X and Y enter into a contract, and that X will sell to Y at, say, in future, upon maturity of the maize, 1 bag at maybe say 1,500, sorry, say 1,500, like that, shillings. Supposing the day that X and Y enter into a contract, the forces of demand versus supply state that the forces of demand and supply state that probably it's maybe 1,000 shillings, like that. Upon maturity, maybe 3 or 4 months down the line, when the maize has reached some form of maturity, or has reached maturity, what happens is that if based on the forces of demand and supply at that time in future, say the demand versus supply is maybe 1,300. What would happen when X has to sell to Y? At what price will X sell to Y? X will have to sell those 10 bags of maize to Y at the contract price of 1,500, like that, even if it is 1,300. That means X will receive some benefit, and Y will lose out. Why? Because the forces of demand and supply at that time in future is saying that 1 bag of maize is going at 1,300, which is slightly lower than the contract price which they had set, say, 4 months before. That is where X will benefit, because instead of selling it at 1,300, they will sell it at 1,500, which provides a premium of about 200 shillings. However, supposing that the force of demand and supply state that the bag of maize, 1 bag of maize in future is 1,700. That means X will have to sell to Y at this contract price, which you're saying is 1,500, as opposed to the 1,700 based on force of demand and supply. That is what you're saying is the simplest form of futures contract. Now, futures and forwards have got almost the same description in terms of the methodology behind each. However, we will first of all look at the similarities between the forward contracts and futures contracts there. So this we can be able to say is an example of either a forward contract or a futures contract like that. But in terms of the similarities, we can be able to state the following. We can state this. Number one, futures and forwards can either be deliverable, or cash settled. Contracts. That is how they are similar. I'll probably provide the description of how they are different. Futures and forwards are priced to have zero value at the time the investor enters into the contract that. So they are priced at zero. So from today they are priced at zero, and then it approaches what we are saying the futures price as it moves on like that. Say 30 days. What happens that it's from today it is priced at zero, but as it approaches the 30th day maturity date, then we are saying that they tend to actually move towards the futures or the forward prices like that. That's what we are saying there.